Hello, Japadians. Welcome back to Akomolafe family channel. This is Bumi Akomolafe. So thank you for following us on this journey. I'm still smiling, so that's a good sign. I lost my voice a bit, so if you can pick that, yeah, so that's what's happening with my voice. Anyway, so a quick update, guys. I tried to do like a weekly, update of, the journey. Something interesting happened this week. My daughter turned 1 Thursday last week. 2 days before that, I decided to go to Lagos Market to go and purchase some party packs, some items that we did not bring from the UK, like things like clothes hanger, pots, household things generally that we needed. So I woke up in the morning feeling excited. And as usual, because we are not mobile yet, we're still sourcing, we always move around with Uber a lot. So as usual, I was going to call my Uber. So one of my friends was going to accompany me to Lagos Market, being that she knows the market very well. So as we were waiting for Uber, waited and waited. I don't know, Ubers generally, they have this habit of canceling at the last minute. So from the app, when you book from the app, you might be waiting for like 20 minutes and then the next thing they cancel. So this was what happened that morning. My friend arrived. We were waiting for Uber. Within 20 minutes, the Uber cancelled. And we tried to get another one and it was just difficult. So my friend, who happened to be a very ghetto friend, she told me, "Oh, what's the big deal? What are we waiting for Uber for? Let's go and jump on the bus. I mean, before we know it, we are there. It's not far." So I thought, okay, yeah, I mean, we're on the island. So the market too is on the island. So how hard can it be to go and, so we went through there was one shortcut near my estate that you can pass through to get to where you can get motorbike. So we passed through that shortcut. It's like somebody's land. So it still has a lot of greenery around it. So I was walking through the little pathway and I was having my fun and singing "The Land is Green." At this time, I didn't know the stress that was waiting ahead of me. So we got on the motorbike and I said, okay. Then we now approached the Lekki-Epe Expressway and we were going to go to the other side of the road to go and get on the bus. Because I thought, okay, now we are at the road. It's easier to get Uber. Let's get Uber from here now, since it might be easier. My friend was like, "I beg, just what kind of nonsense is this? Did you not live in this Nigeria before you left?" So she said, "Come on, let's go." I said, you and who will jump this road? We are going to cross this expressway. She said, "Can't you see people doing it?" And true, young, old, people were running across the express. So, my dear, I took the courage and ran across the road, following her at the back. So, got across the road now. And then we jumped on Korokpe. So for people who don't know what Korokpe is, there's this tiny little buses that run transportation business in Lagos now today. We don't have this kind of buses in those days, but they do have them now. They are kind of smaller than the usual downfall buses. So we go on the Korokpe now, and it was like everything was just happening fast. I was like, I'm actually doing this. And the way they were driving, I've talked about the driving before anyway. And I sat down there and like, my friend would look at me from time to time. She could see the nervousness. I was just staring. I wasn't smiling. I couldn't even express myself. I couldn't express anything. So my friend would look at me. She would just glance at me every now and then to see how I'm reacting to this, this new spontaneous action that we are doing. So I just kept quiet. I was looking at her. Every time she looked at me, I'll just give her a smile. Then we took the first bus all the way to was this to go and get the CMS bus or something like that. And before we knew it, boom, she dragged me into another bus. Another bus, the normal bus now, the one that they sit for. And I just couldn't believe I was doing that. I sat down there, the stress was already settling in at that point because when I was going, I was a little bit energetic. But by the time we got to the second bus, I was like, what am I doing? In fact, I was too scared to even bring out my phone to do recording. It was a mixture of emotions. Like it was excitement and panic and fear at the same time. It was fun. And every time the bus felt a little bit rickety, like very old. And in fact, it was almost like the bus was going to divide into two at some point. Every time it got into a gallop, it was like the bus was going to rip apart. That's how rickety it was. It was so tired bus. And I'll just look at everybody and say, okay, everybody's relaxed. So this is normal. And, it just brought back memories of those days many years ago when we got on the buses. And it's funny to say that not much has changed. Like in terms of the transportation system, with the kind of buses that they do use. It's quite the same as before I left. So I was just there, it was just bringing back memories and just seeing, how Lagos is now with the local transport system. That was really fun to see. So arriving at the market, I was still then doing my spray with my nice pair of shoes. By the time we walked like 10 minutes, my dear, my legs were killing. I could not even walk anymore. My shoes were a little bit tighter than normal. And I was like, in the UK, I've walked with these shoes. I walk a lot in the UK. Why does walking feel more stressful here? Could it be the heat? But we do have heat too in the UK. And we do walk a lot. I mean, we walk a lot in the UK. So I realized, okay, it's the shoes that were making me a little bit uncomfortable. So I just saw somebody who was selling slippers by the roadside, some slippers, sandal looking thing. And I bought this pair of slippers and I just slipped into them. And that really just made a difference. And from then on, we arrived at the market around 12 noon, thereabout. And we were there until like 6:30, 7 p.m. at night, walking around non-stop for 7 hours. I mean, after a while, I just quit feeling cute. I just abandoned cuteness. It now became like a struggle for survival at a point because we were hungry, we were tired. And here was I was like afraid to eat just anything, like I was still afraid to just buy any roadside thing to eat because I'm still afraid I don't want to pick up anything. So yeah, but what I managed to get was a corn and I sat down where we're trying to buy rope here to, for our clothes line at the back. So where the guy was trying to help us out the rope and cut the portion that we need. So he gave me this bench to sit down and I sat down there and I was eating my corn away. I really felt like a local woman, like a market woman. So yeah, so that was so fun. And by the time I was coming back at night, I was like, my friend had already gone. But this time around, I said to myself, hey, I'm not doing any korokwe. And besides, I have so many things I've bought already. So I said, no, this one is going to go into Uber. I'm taking a taxi from here. I'm not doing that nonsense I did in the morning. So I was just sat down there. And because of the time that we left, guys, for the first time I experienced Lagos traffic. It was crazy. Ideally, the journey shouldn't take more than an hour, but we were there for 3 hours. 3 hours plus. The traffic was horrendous. And guess what? The Uber man to charge accordingly. When there's a lot of traffic, they tend to charge more money. So yeah. So sat down there quietly, just thinking about my life. It's really fun experience. I mean, generally, I would say that I've been here now more than 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a half now. That's half a month. And yeah, some things might be too early to comment on now, but I'm going to be giving the updates as I go on. And what I find is people generally need to be firm to be able to get the best sometimes. You need to be firm. Like I said this before I came to Nigeria. I said this in one of my videos that I did in the UK. And I said that video based on the experience I had before relocating abroad. So I said in that video that in Nigeria, you have to be fighting your corner a lot. And it's already happening. I can tell you that because there are some things that, for example, you're calling somebody to do something for you. Like the standard that Nigerians, some people feel that is okay for you, especially somebody who's seen better, you will struggle to find that as okay. And it's not that they are doing anything evil or they are doing bad or they are being wicked or anything like that. To them, that is actually okay. So, for example, you tell somebody to go and buy something for you, and that thing is already tattered and torn and worn, and they look at it and say, oh, there's still life left in this thing, and it's still usable, so this should be okay. So they will buy that because they feel, well, it's okay. And then they bring it to you and you are being like, this is crap. Should be heading to the bin. This is not okay. So those kind of things, you get that a lot. And you have to be fighting your corner. And another thing that happened this week that just in relation to what I've just said is I went to this supermarket, Blenco. They are all over Lagos. I've been seeing their shops, their supermarkets here and there. And I went to the supermarket. I've been there twice now. And every time I went, I did like huge shopping because we are still trying to settle down. And we are buying huge things like, household things. So I went to buy water dispenser and I went to buy a few things. And then we saw bicycles for the kids. They're like, okay, the estate where we live is child friendly. Let me get the kids bicycle so that they can go out more. We did test the bike because they have this, according to what they said later on when we went back, their policy is to test things to make sure that they are in working condition before they give it to the customer. So the bigger bike, which is my son's bike, when the guy rode it in the shop, he was riding it. It seemed fine because he was an older person. But when we got home, we realized that one of the tubes was kind of too big for the back tire. It was like covering the entire, almost touching the wheel. So it didn't seem okay. And every time you just slow ride it, like every time you just turn the wheel slowly, you hear that sound of something like something is preventing it from, it makes that sound. So you can tell that. So I had somebody look at it, somebody who knew about bike, and they said, no, this is company fault and I should take it back. And another person said, oh, Nigeria, they don't take back things. So you cannot return goods once you buy it and all that. So I'm like, but they checked it and said it was okay. How come we are saying here now that is not okay? And when I went there, I was carrying my baby on my back. So it wasn't even the easiest transactions. I told my husband, you people have to take it back. So they took it back. And when they got there, according to my husband's account, the people were like, oh, you can't return it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I mean, the packaging is still intact. The wrapping is still there. What do you mean by I can't return it? We've clearly not used it. And they were like, oh, no. My husband just said, can I see your manager? And the manager came and was like, but somebody tested it and they should have tested it. Well, they tested it, but look, the person missed this. And it wasn't just that item I returned. So I also got this little toy for my daughter. And when I saw this at the shop, it was a complete set like this and they showed me the sample. So I told them I wanted the new one in a pack. And when they gave me, this piece was missing. It was just this one, and this, that it was in the packaging. So I didn't realize that this part was missing from the toy. So it made it really short and not usable. And they sold this plastic alone for almost 10,000 naira. So I said, okay, I'm going to take that back as well because that is useless without the other part of the stick. So we took those two things back. And they said, oh, this one, they admitted that, oh, this one indeed, the part was missing. And they were like, oh, they are going to, there's going to be like a disciplinary action against the staff that was supposed to man that toy department, that because they should have checked all these things before they gave them to us. But luckily, after so much forth and back, and they were quite rude as well, eventually decided to swap the bike for us. But I think if you're looking for a reason not to jackpada, you will find a reason everywhere. So it's what coming with that mindset of, I want to come here and I want to make it work. And I think that coming here with that mindset has helped me a lot. I've come with the mindset of, in fact, I try to kind of remember how life was before I left many years ago. And that's helped me a lot because I speak up when I'm supposed to speak up. I keep quiet when I'm supposed to keep quiet. I challenge things when something is not looking right. I challenge things. And having said that, we also met a few Japadians, or we spoke to a few Japadians this week, and they were having similar challenges as well. Challenges such as what I ordered versus what I got. And that's why I'm going to touch on this before I end this video. We that are abroad, or we that were abroad and purchased things from videos, from phone calls, from entrusting people to look at things for us and vet them for us. And, oftentimes people leave out vital information. And the painful thing is that the people that you think will give you accurate information, the people that you think they got your back. No, this person is giving me accurate details, accurate information about what I'm purchasing. Oftentimes, I'm not saying all of them, but oftentimes some of them do cut corners in the sense that they know that they are going to get a cut from the people who are selling those things. They will have a deal with them without you knowing. They will get a cut. So they will look for a way to push that thing onto you. Now, when they are doing the videos and they are doing the recording of the thing that you are purchasing, be it property, be it car, be it land, whatever it is, they will leave out vital information. So, for example, the road to where you are going might not be a good place. They will cut that bit off and just show you where you are going. If there are things in the house like things that are not well done and up to taste, they will cut those bits out. You won't see them. They will only show you the nice places. And you will think that, oh, I'm purchasing the right thing. I'm purchasing something that is nice. And then you will only find out that you've just lost your money. So a few people contacted us this week, and the properties that they purchased, thinking that they would be able to live there, when they got there, it wasn't what they expected. And we have about a couple of people actually who mentioned that. So I think it's one of the things that Japadians need to be mindful of when you are looking to relocate. If you can, I didn't do that in my own case. I took that risk. And the reason I didn't do that was because I had a lot happening for me at the time. And I was also one of the people that felt, okay, this person, the way he sounded so true and so genuine, I could trust them. But having seen some things myself, I was like, oh, but you people cut out this. So the lesson there is, if you can come home to see things for yourself before you make any form of payment to anybody, make sure that you come home and look at things for yourself. Come and see the property that you want to buy before you make your payment. Come and see the road drive that gets to that place before you make your payment. Don't just make payment because somebody said. Make sure that you see the place for yourself. Come and see the facility. Come and see how they build the toilet, the kind of materials that they use there. So many things look fancy on camera. By the time you touch them, you will see they are plasticky. For example, my shower, when the manager who managed my flat, when they got that shower head, the shower set, it looked so beautiful on camera. I was like, oh, gold and black was what I asked for. And they got gold and black. And it was so pretty, so nice. Only for me to get here now and see that they are all plastic. They are not even metal. They're like, even some of them are already falling apart. Very bad quality. Funniest thing is that they will collect money for original from you. They will collect money for good quality stuff from you. And then they will go and buy plastic. Everything there is plastic. My tap that I bought, I told them I wanted the tap. I bought the top end one, which was supposed to be metal. The tap was supposed to be metal. When I look at it from camera, it looked like metal. They told me they bought the best that I paid for. It's when I got in and I realized those things come in grades. And they went and bought me the lowest grade. So the tap is plastic. If you are building a project, make sure that you plan to come home like every now and then. Budget how you are going to come. If you want to build a house for an entire year, make sure you plan to come at least 3-4 times within that year to come and see things for yourself. Otherwise, you will get that situation of what I ordered versus what I got. The shocker that everybody's getting now. Yeah, so that's one major thing that I've noticed that is kind of unsettling people as they are relocating. Somebody mentioned in the comment section that it's too early to say how I really view Nigeria, that I should be talking about in 6 months' time, in 8 months' time. I will just do a weekly update. And me, I know that I said I won't talk trash about Nigeria, but I want to be truthful. I want to give an accurate account. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to say something is bad when it's good. And I'm not going to say something is good when it's bad. You understand? Like the Ubers, somebody needs to be looking at the Ubers. They need to have like a body that kind of assess the Ubers. They need to have regulations. What kind of vehicle should be used for Ubers? Uber drivers, Uber cars are so broken. They are so bad. I remember the other day I ordered for Uber. When the Uber arrived, I was like, where's my Uber? I was so ashamed to get into the car. The car was like falling apart. I mean, the entire front was already gone. It was missing. It wasn't even there. And I said, this one too is Uber. And the annoying thing is that the money that they will charge you just from point A to point B, it's just ridiculous. And then you look at the car that you are paying for, and you look at the amount that they are calling, it just doesn't call for the challenge. Match. The good thing also about Nigerians is that you always have somebody who will come up to you and give you a hand. You are trying to carry something, somebody will be there to say, oh, madam, let me help you. Even though things don't come for free. That's what I'm learning now very fast. When somebody comes to you and they offer you something, offer you help, you have to be able to tip them at the end. Because tomorrow when they see you struggling like that, they'll just look away. So you have to know that bit. When somebody comes to you and offering you support, they want you to tip them at the end of that support. They want you to give them something. So thank you so much. Hello, everybody in the group. I hope you guys are having fun. Please reach out to me if you are a Japadian, if you are already in Lagos. Just let us know how you are settling. And I want to say special thank you to Mr. Bola. Mr. Bola, hey, one of my subscribers, he reached out to me and said, how are the kids settling? And that would just, meant a lot to me. He wanted to know how the kids were settling, if they liked it. And I said, well, so far so good. So Mr. Bola said, you know what? I'm going to gift the children something. Please buy them ice cream with this and let them know that we have ice cream in Nigeria. He was just joking about saying that. So Mr. Bola sent me some money. I won't tell you how much, but a decent amount of money. And, I just want to say thank you so much, Mr. Bola. I really appreciate that. And, I took the children. In fact, I didn't even buy only ice cream. I took them to ShopRite, and they went to that, there was the one arcade that we saw that there was a lot of games, a lot of activities. So I took them there. They had fun. They did a lot of activities. They enjoyed themselves. And after that, We went to a nice restaurant. We ate, we had ice cream, we had everything. And, it was fun. It was fun. So thank you so much, Mr. Bola. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So I thank you for following us on this journey. All right. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.